So in last class, what we have seen? So let me start all of the notes here. So we have worker notes and everything, right? So in today's class, I'm going to tell projects, sir. What I'm going to tell? How much of time you think to cover project? 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Not like if you think like someone will take 1 hour, 2 hours, right? But for you, 10 minutes only. How to 10 minutes means I'll ask you one thing. For a project, we need to set up Jenkins server. You know that? Have you done it? For project, we need to create pipelines. You know how to create pipelines? For project, we need to run SonarQube server. You know how to run SonarQube server? For project, you need to do the deployment pipe, like pipeline writing, you know already. Integration of Maven, you know. Generating of var file, you know. Only thing that is pending is Tomcat setup. Which setup? If you set up Tomcat, your project is done. That's what you are going to do now. I'll tell you one thing about, so basically, my training is going to be like step by step process. Basically, at the end of the day, I won't tell the process of project. Day by day. In day 1, I'll teach you some part of project. In day 2, I'm going to teach you some part of project. Day 3, some part. Day 4, some part. You know how to get the source code or not, sir? You know how to compile, how to build, how to test, how to check the quality. Final stage is deployment. What is your final stage? 5 steps already you know. What is the last step pending? Deployment of Tomcat server. If you set up Tomcat server, then your deployment is done. That's what I'm going to tell you now. So first of all, here I'm going to connect to my Jenkins server. Already I connected here. So let me log in with my username. So tell me the pipeline, all of you. Pipeline to check the code quality. From starting, getting the source code to checking the code quality. You know, you all are comfortable with writing pipeline, right? I'm not going to tell anything. You are going to tell me. So click on new item. Pipeline name is Netflix pipeline. Which pipeline? So click on pipeline and now tell me the syntax. I won't tell anything. Entire thing you are going to tell me. I'm not going to tell anything for you. So go here. First of all, tell me. Pipeline. Agent. I want to work it on slave 1. So open the brace and give label slave 1. Where I want to work on? Why? Because I want to deploy my Tomcat on slave 1 only. Next. Stages. Stage number 1 is checkout means what, sir? Getting the source code. Correct or not? Where I have my source code? If I go to GitHub. So in GitHub, my account name is like DevOps Jenkins. I'm on my DevOps Jenkins or not, sir? Are you seeing my Jenkins Java project here? Take it. Steps. SH not Git. Give it. Step number 1 done. Step number 2, what you are going to do? Stage. We are going to build the code. Build means compile. I'm not going to tell anything. Everything you are going to tell me. Next. Steps. SHMEN. Next stage. Stage. Steps. One second. MEN test. Next, I want to check the. Now, next, what I want to do here? Code quality, right? Code quality. With the help of which tool? Steps. Next. SH. 3 single quotes open. 3 single quotes. In the middle, I want to write SonarQube script or not, sir? I'll ask you one thing. In last class, I write the SonarQube script. Can I use the same one now? Why not? Exact point. I cannot use it. Why? Because IP address is going to change it. I need to generate one more time freshly. You know how to generate, right? So connect to our SonarQube server. Connect like public IP. And what is the port number, guys? 9300. So in today's class, I'm going to teach you troubleshooting. Concept is going to be very, very important. Sir, why it is not connecting? Because SonarQube is a service. Whenever you stop the server, service inside the server is also going to, correct or not, sir? It's my SonarQube server. I'm going to connect to it. So you want the project to be on easiest way or difficult, like a difficult way? Easiest way or difficult way again? Okay, fine. To satisfy you, I'll tell on easy way. But in real time, do you think is this really easy or difficult? I already said this point very clearly. Don't feel difficult. Concept as depth. If I teach basics, you will satisfy or not, sir? Ram sir is teaching very good. The concept is very important, very easy. But it is not how real time works. Okay. So give sudo -i. So login as Sonar user. So what is the script? sh inside opt SonarQube bin Linux sonar.sh start. Started now. Check the status. Is optional. Status checking is. Is it running now? Now go and click on refresh. Deployment is easy, but troubleshooting is difficult. If you want only deployment, I'll tell deployment only. You will feel easy, na? Let's take only deployment. So login is admin. This is a password I given in last class. No, I changed the password, right? Man, I forgot the password actually. What is the password I have given? Okay, let me do one thing. cd/opt SonarQube. I'll do one thing. Basically, like I can log in without password as well, but let me apply some technique here. Where's your last class? Your class is 10:45 batch, right? So here what I'll do is commands I'll apply directly, but IP address I'll change. That will be enough actually. No need to log in. So what I'm gonna do is, so here you have this one. Yeah. SonarQube. So this same thing I'm gonna copy, but the only thing I'm gonna change is server IP address. Correct or not, sir? Like instead of logging, I forgot the password. Like which password I have given, I'm not sure. Yeah. So here URL, I'm gonna give my current SonarQube URL. Seeing this one, it is my IP address, right? So directly just copy the public IP address. It is fine actually. Instead of using this public IP address, I'm gonna use the new public IP address. Already Netflix is there, and already this login token also there. So click on generate. First of all, let's check it is working or not. Please. Click on build now. If it is working, directly we can install Tomcat, and Tomcat installation is very easy. How much time is it take to install Tomcat? Huh? How much of time it will take? It's not possible even. 1 second means to download the Tomcat only, we need a lot of time. Code quality failed here. Why it failed? 1 second. Not authorized. 1 second. Are you seeing Sonar Cube properties here? Sonar properties. Open this file. Let me do one thing. Like, let me set up Sonar Cube better. Why? Because this password I forgot, right? It will take a lot of time for to get retrieve the password. Let me delete this Sonar Cube and let me create a new one. Terminate. So launch instance. So let me create Sonar Cube one more time. So Sonar server. So instance type I want to take as T2 medium. So basically we can give passwordless login as well. But what exactly will happen is if I do passwordless login, I'm going to get some errors. Why? Because when there is no password, there is no security, right? That's it. 1045. So setting up the Sonar Cube one more time. In the meanwhile, I have the script, right? I'm gonna use the script to set up Sonar Cube. So where is my script for Sonar Cube setup? It is a script. Is it running now, Sonar server? Now try to connect and try to run the script as soon as possible. Sudo -i. Script running, sir, now? Now copy this public IP address and what is the port number of Sonar Cube? 9000, right? But before running this one, let's execute the server one more time. It is the easiest method of all methods to setting the Sonar Cube. Like there are some other methods to set up Sonar Cube as well, but that I won't prefer. Why? Because when compared to all other methods, it is the best one and the easiest way. So now run the script. sh under opt Sonar Cube inside bin inside Linux use sonar.sh start. It is started now. So now try to log in here. So let's set it up very quickly. Port number is 9000. Oh. So it is starting now. Whenever you miss the password, right? So this is the basic issue. But in real time, you don't miss the password. Why? Because every password you are going to update on your AD server. Okay. But here, unfortunately, I'm not able to remember which password I set. AD, Active Directory. Yeah. So that is a server where you can store all the password of every user in the organization. Home. This is the third time I think so we are covering Sonar Cube. Raham 123. If I miss, please tell me. Update. So now create a project for it. Add project. Project name I am giving it as project. Project Netflix. Which one? So click on setup and here also key also I am giving the project Netflix. Okay. Generate, continue, select Maven and copy this. And we need to paste them on pipeline. Correct or not, sir? Token name and pipeline name you can give whatever you want. Okay. Don't think like we need to give only some specific names. Paste it here. Is it done, sir? Now? Can we run it one more time to check the code quality? Like again, all of this process daily we are seeing. So this is the day 3, right? Same process we are telling. Day 1, same process. Day 2, same process. Day 3 also. Why I am running this multiple times? If you miss day 1, you can cover on day 2. Even if you miss on day 2, you can cover on day 3 or no, sir? That's the reason. If I tell this only one time, you will get nothing. Why? Because in DevOps, you require some spoon feeding. It's for sure, damn sure. So is it code quality done now? Sir, what is the next step? We want to convert into artifact. Artifact means what? Generating the var file. Click on configure and tell me the process. Again, go for stage. Inside stage, I'm gonna give artifact. So inside stage, I want to give what, sir? No? Oh, 1 second. Steps. Inside step, I want to give sh mvn clean package. Now I am going to generate var file. In which server I am going to generate var file now? Slave 1, correct or not, sir? Basically, we can generate var file on Jenkins and we can move it to slave server. Instead of doing that much of process, directly I can generate var file on slave server or not, sir? Directly I can deploy from there or not? That's it. So now to do the deployment process, we need to install Tomcat. Very easy process. There are only 5 steps. How many steps? Not 5. If you talk roughly 2 steps or 3 steps roughly. So let me finish this one. So then I can go for Tomcat setup. Tell me one thing, like, is writing pipeline still you are feeling difficult or easy? All of you. What about you online? Is writing pipeline difficult or easy? If you feel easy, then I'll be happy. Why? Because all these efforts only for you, right? Okay, easy. Fine. Sir, now whatever the step you are going to write now, it is going to be the difficult step of entire pipeline, writing the pipeline stage for Tomcat. First of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up Tomcat here. What I'm going to set up? But before that, let me show you the architecture till now. Whatever we have done, I'm going to show on a pictorial representation. So if you have your mobiles, take this screenshot, all of you. Snapshot or screenshot, whatever it can be. So it is the architecture for our project, sir. Okay, if you understand the architecture, your project is going to be very easy. Now here what I'm going to do is, sir, initially developers are going to write the source code to where, sir? To GitHub. From the GitHub, we are taking code to Jenkins. In Jenkins, we are going to build the application. We are going to test the application to create var file. And are we generating the code quality or not, sir, with the help of SonarQube? After doing all of this, and Artifactory you are going to store on Nexus, but you can store on AWS as well. I'll tell how to store Artifactory on AWS. Now, once you generate a var file, after building, testing, and code quality, you are going to deploy the Artifactory on Tomcat. Which one? You are seeing cat, right? That name is Tom. That's the reason it is called as Tomcat. Clear now? Just for kidding. You can use Prometheus, Grafana, and you can use Jabri, Nagios, as well as Splunk, ELK. Lot of things we can use. Okay, then, sir, after, like, how to set up the Tomcat means, first of all, Tomcat is an open source tool. So you can type dlcd apache.org just to give /Tomcat. Okay, dlcd.apache.org/Tomcat. Are you going to Tomcat now directly? Go to Tomcat 9. 9.0.80 is the latest version. Click on bin. Are you seeing Tomcat tar.gset? In this tar file, you have the Tomcat, sir. I'm gonna give the setup, don't worry. Tomcat setup I'm giving here. This is your batch only, right? I think I have given notes for RBAC, right? What happened here then? Okay, fine. You have it on GitHub, right? Anyways, Tomcat setup. Sir, listen to the process very carefully. Step number 1, you need to download the Tomcat from the internet. To download the files from internet, we use wget command. Which command? Wget means webget. If you have a file on internet, if you want to download to your server, which command I'm gonna use? Webget. So I'm going to connect to my slave server 1. Which server? So connect to your slave 1. Connect. So listen to the concept very carefully. I'll repeat only one time. This time I not repeat multiple times. Why? Because you need to pay attention. Okay? Yeah. Switch is there. I think it's stopped. Okay, fine. So sudo -i. Sir, give the command wget. Which command? Wget is the meaning of webget. That means if you have a file on internet, if you want to download to your server, we can use wget command. Oh, sorry, not this one. So here I have already the command, right? I'm gonna copy this command from here. So now, is my Tomcat downloaded here? Download or not? Currently this is on tar format. Which format? We need to untar. Why tar format? Means to compress the size of the file. Okay. So I'm untarring it by using tar-zx of Apache Tomcat. It is the command to untar the file, sir. Is it done now? Now go to Tomcat, cd Apache Tomcat. Of course, it's not required. Let me do it from back only. So now see, step number 1 is downloading the Tomcat. Step number 2 is untarring. Correct or not, sir? Now in step number 3, we need to create username and password to log into Tomcat. We need to create username and password to log into VIM inside Apache Tomcat. There is a file called configuration folder. Which file? Configuration the folder. File name is tomcatuser.xml, sir. It is the name of the file. Go to this file. It is your step number 3. After going to this file, come to the bottom of the file. Shift G. Can I use Shift G, sir? Are you seeing above 3 lines or not, sir? Copy these 3 lines. Of course, if you want to copy with the help of command, can I use 3YY? 3YY means 3 lines. Yanked. Yanked means copied. Now paste them here. Again, if you want to paste, P. All of this we learned on Linux or not? So now, whenever you want to log into Tomcat, we need to give some roles. First role is manager GUI. What is the first role? These roles are important to log into Tomcat server. Second role is manager script. Second role is manager. And what is the username for Tomcat server? Tomcat only. If I want to give the password we can change. I am giving password as Raham123. What is the password? Of course, if you want to give some any other password, you can give the password. And how many roles I have? Tomcat manager GUI and manager script. Clear, sir? One more time I'm telling. So you need to go to Apache folder, configuration folder, and there is a file called tomcatuser.xml. You need to come to the bottom of the file and copy these 3 lines. I am passing roles. Roles why, sir? Why roles? To log into Tomcat. Without roles and username, can we log into Tomcat server? No. So I am giving this and save this one, sir. Is it done now? Here I am gonna give you this as well. For your clarity, I am also writing this. Okay? Don't confuse. The problem with you is if I write something on notes, even after seeing the notes also, you are doing mistakes on labs. It is your step number 3, sir. Now in step number 4, you want to edit one more file. Again in Apache Tomcat, in web app folder, there is a folder called manager. Inside manager, meta-inf, there is a file called context.xml. Inside Apache Tomcat, folder name is inside manager, meta-inf, context.xml. In this file now, we are going to delete line number 21 and 22. Delete 21 and 22 lines. Clear, sir? It is your step number 4. Give colon 21. Are you going to line number 21? Delete, and line number 22 also delete. Clear now? Your Tomcat setup is done. Why? Because if you don't remove that lines, we need to give your IP address. So instead of passing IP address there, we can directly pass it from Tomcat itself. Public. Okay. So see now, again, second time I'm going to explain the steps. Step number 1 is downloading the Tomcat. Step number 2 is untar. Step number 3, I need to go to configuration folder and I need to write tomcat user.xml. Why? To log into Tomcat server. Without username, password and roles, can we log into Tomcat? And in step number 4, we need to delete line number 21 and 22. Why? Means if we don't delete, we need to give IP address. So like again, if you can give IP address or you can remove them from the configuration file. Last step is starting the Tomcat, sir. Last step, sh inside Apache Tomcat bin. There is a script called startup.sh. It is the script to start the Tomcat. Is my Tomcat started now? Are you seeing? It is your step number 5. Once it is done, na, give the public IP of slave 1. Okay, public IP of slave, and give port number. Why? Because Tomcat is running on port number 8080 only, sir. Is it by say public IP address? 8080 running or not, sir? Am I able to see it or not? That's it. So if we go and click on manager apps, what is the username? Tomcat. What is the password? Am I able to log into my Tomcat or not, sir? How many steps we have performed? Easy or not? Step number 1, downloading, untarring, creating users and roles, deleting the lines, and starting the Tomcat server. Correct now? Now this Tomcat, I want to attach to my pipeline. If I attach the Tomcat to my pipeline, my project is done. How to attach means, first of all, you need to download the plugin. What you need to download? Manager app, username and password to log in. So next, we need to download the plugin, sir. Download the plugin. Which plugin you want to download? There is a plugin called deploy to container. So go to manage Jenkins. In manage Jenkins, click on where it is plugins here. Yeah, click on plugin. In this plugin, go for available plugin, deploy to container. Are you seeing this one? It is the plugin which is responsible to deploy the application on Tomcat. If you don't have this plugin, you cannot deploy to Tomcat. This is to deploy on Tomcat. Clear, sir? Fine. Now go back to the top page. Sir, now how to connect our Tomcat with our server means the process is very easy. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, sir. Tomcat username and password is there. If I want to attach it to my pipeline, we need to write here username and password or not, sir? Correct or not? Generally, we don't expose username and password publicly. Are we going to expose username and password publicly? For that purpose, we need to use secrets. What we need to use? Listen to the process carefully. Click on manage Jenkins. Next, are you seeing credentials? Go to credentials. In the credentials, already these credentials I added for my previous class. Like not for you, for your previous batch Terraform class is just done now. And in the previous class, have we added the credentials of slave 1, slave 2 or not, sir? Every credential is going to store on credential manager. Click on system, click on global credentials, and click on add credentials. You need to give this path. Again, this path also I'm gonna give for you. So while down practicing now, please use this path. Click on add credentials. Username with password. What is my username? Tomcat. What is my password? Correct or not, sir? That's it. Click on create. So here click on add credentials. Next give username and password. Click on save. Clear, sir? Is the process clear how to give the Tomcat username and password? If it is not clear, let me tell you one more time. Now you tell me. Manage Jenkins. Credentials. System. Add credentials. Sorry, add domain node. Here I need to click. System. Inside global credentials. Here click on. So kind username with password. What is my username? What is my password? Click on create. Clear, sir? No? Fine. So now what I'm going to do is, sir, whenever you have done that process, right, you will get one ID. What we are going to get? ID. So if I go to credentials now, am I seeing my ID here? For Tomcat, copy this ID. Why? Because this ID is very, very important. So I'm going to copy it on here. So now go to your pipeline. So now you are ready to deploy the application on Tomcat. Very, very easy. So just pay attention here for next 5 minutes. In next 5 minutes, you are going to write the stage called deployment. Very important. So if you see here, sir, here stage. What is the name of the stage? Deploy. Correct or not, sir? Inside stage, what I want to write? Inside step. Now I am gonna write, sir, I am gonna write here deploy adapters. What I'm gonna write? Open this square brace and close it. Sir, to deploy your application, we need to get credentials or not, sir? Tomcat credentials. So write here credentials. Capital I, small d. Credentials ID. Sir, where you are getting credentials from? This ID or not, sir? In this ID, I have the username and password of Tomcat or not? Without exposing our username and password, am I able to pass the username and password or not, sir? In real time also, whenever you are deploying the application, don't pass the username and password. Don't pass the username and before writing this step, I need to write one more step. That is in deploy adapters. Sir, which version of Tomcat you are deploying? Which version of Tomcat you are deploying? 9, right? So give Tomcat 9. So now write it here. Credentials ID. What I am writing here? Let me remove this one better. Clear now? So I am deploying Tomcat version 9. So Tomcat 9 version I am using. For Tomcat, my username and password I am taking from credentials or not, sir? Step number 1 clear. Step number 2 is path. What is your step number 2? Path I am not providing, comma, and here also I need to put comma. And lastly, I want to give one more thing that is called as URL. I need to give my Tomcat URL. What I need to give? Tomcat URL means Tomcat public IP address and port number 8080. Is it my Tomcat URL or not, sir? In deployment stage, in deployment adapters, I'm using Tomcat version 9. What is my username and password? I pass on credentials. And what is the path? I'm not defining the path. And in URL, we are going to pass the Tomcat URL or not, sir? Now my pipeline is going to deploy on this server with the help of these credentials. Point clear for all of you? Everyone. What about you online? Is the point clear for all of you? Third time I'm explaining again. I'm on deployment stage. I'm writing deployment adapters. That means things which require to deployment. Which version of Tomcat I'm using now? For Tomcat, we need to give the IP address credentials or not, sir? Am I giving credentials here? Am I giving IP address here? That's it. Now here put comma, and one more thing also we need to write. What is that, you know? To do the deployment, we need to give the context. What we need to give? Context means name of the application, sir. What is the meaning of context? Netflix. Sir, currently are you seeing Netflix application here? No. But here I can able to see the Netflix application name. Now, comma, you are deploying WAR file or not, sir? Where is your WAR file? My WAR file is on target folder. Which folder is my WAR file? Inside target folder, whatever WAR files you are seeing, deploy that WAR file. Clear or not? So I'm writing context. Context means the name of the application. WAR file. Where is your WAR file? Inside target folder or not, sir? If you go to my slave one, it is my slave one. Go to CD var lib Jenkins. Sorry, not this one. CD TMP workspace Netflix hyphen pipeline. Huh? What is the name of the job here? Job name. So Netflix pipeline, right? Netflix pipeline. Are you seeing here WAR file on target folder? So this WAR file I'm gonna deploy. What I'm gonna deploy? That WAR file. Again, one more time. Fourth time, please listen here. I am writing which stage, guys, here? Deploy. I am writing deploy adapters. That means what are the things required for deployment? I am using which version of Tomcat? Credentials ID means I am taking credential from this ID. Username and password. You all know how to get that ID, right? Next, URL. It is my Tomcat URL. That means my slave one URL. In this slave one only my Tomcat is running. Next, context. What is the name of the application? WAR file. WAR file is on which folder? That's it. Click on build now. Is the last step clear for all of you? So here build got failed. What got failed? So why it got failed? Let's troubleshoot this one. It is very easy again. So here it is telling that in context path, you have given slash. Slash is what here? Invalid parameter. Troubleshooting is very simple. Have a given slash here. That's the reason it is not taking. If you use slash, it is going to refer to the Linux file systems. Again, what happened here? Sir, again you removed the slash or not, sir, but why build is failing means here in line number 46, there is some invalid parameter. You have given context, but what we need to give here? Small mistake or not, sir? Again, for small mistake also, it is going to throw there. Like these are the mistakes generally that occur on your pipeline writing. So that's the reason mistakes also I am showing you here. Why means in order to not to repeat this. In context path, P should be capital. Clear now? Are you seeing your context path here? That's the name. Now if you go, first of all, source code is checkout. My source code is now building and my source code is now testing. Next, is it passing my code quality checks? Deployment is going done in within less than 10 seconds. How many seconds? If you want me to show like a source code getting less than 1 second, build 3 seconds, test 5 seconds, code quality 17 seconds, artifactory conversion 8 seconds, and deployment, see how many seconds it will take? Less than 10 seconds only. How many seconds? 3 seconds. Sir, if we go and click on refresh now, here you can see Netflix application now. Am I seeing my Netflix application? Click on this Netflix application. Are you seeing it or not, sir? How we have done it? Automation or not? Now open your mobiles, all of you. Type that public IP address and port number 8080/Netflix and tell me you are able to access the Netflix or not. Online. So this link also I'm gonna give you on your chat box. Please get the link and try to hit the logs. One second, /var Apache / Apache. Now, if you see here, are you seeing live logs or not, sir? Try to access the application, you will get more logs. So it is the IP address of application. Try to get it. 13.39.49.204. Let me give this IP address. I'll give it here. So take it from here now. HTTP is not required. Okay, HTTP is not required. No, just to give /Netflix there. If you give public IP address and port number 8080, you will get the Tomcat. But if you give /Netflix, you will get the Netflix application on local. Open for all of you. This is how the deployment is going to be done on real time. Okay. Sir, now after, like see here, after few days, developer is going to change the source code, sir. Click on source and click on main. Inside main, go for web application. Inside index.jsp now. I'm gonna change the source code. Currently it is which version? 7, correct or not, sir? Developer change the version number 7 to version number 8. Now currently which version is running here? Now developer is going to tell that DevOps engineer, I write some new source code. Please deploy it on my developing environment. He changed the source code and he committed. As a DevOps engineer, what you are going to do now? Click on build now. That is only your work. To write the pipeline only, we need to work hard, sir. Once you write the pipeline, right, our only work is to build now. Developer changing code or not, sir? Jenkins taking the new code? Jenkins taking new code or not? Is it building? Is it testing? Again, new code, we are going to integrate or not, sir? Is it checking the quality of code or not? Sorry. 1 second. Let me finish this and I'll come back to you. Is it converting into artifact now? Is it deploying, sir, now one more time? If I go here and if I click on refresh, again, I'm going to get version 8.0. That means my application is update or not. Of course, if I'm a developer, I can add some new features here, but I'm not a developer, right? So I just change some basic source code of it. Again, if you go for version 9, again, you are going to write the code, build it, test it, checking the code quality, converting into artifact, again, deployment. It is a continuous process or not, sir? Tell me one thing, how many times you wrote the pipeline? But can we use for our lifetime or not, sir? Whenever you change the source code, directly I can able to click on build now. Of course, you can integrate PoleACM webhook as well. That's up to your choice. If you want to integrate PoleACM or webhook, go to configuration. You can see the options here. Are you seeing PoleACM and webhook here? You can use this. So this is the way how we are going to deploy the application. It is the end-to-end pipeline for deploying the application. Every parameter is covering or not, sir? Here you are integrating Git, Maven, SonarQube, Tomcat, and Jenkins. Clear now? That's it. So now you are asking something. Okay. Okay. You want to get the log files of old build and new build. You can check the logs, right? I'll tell you one thing. Whenever you want to check the logs, are you seeing build history here? You can go here and you can check the logs, right? Okay. So basically, that's not our work. See, developers are going to maintain multiple versions, right? They will give only repository URL. In real time, developers will give only repository URL, guys. You cannot see the source code, what is written there. You can get only URL. That URL we are going to configure into Jenkins. Again, source code changing, everything is going to be taken by developers. We are not going to be responsible for it. Is the concept clear for all of you now? How to do deployment? So now tell me, is writing pipeline really difficult now? Huh? Still, how many of you feel it is difficult, sir? Raise your hands. Okay, how many of you feel it is easy now? What about remaining? Okay, don't worry. This pipeline concepts we are going to use for every tool. Upcoming Docker, I'm going to show you how to write pipeline for Docker. In later, you are going to use Terraform. For Terraform also, I'll show you how to write the pipelines. Before your class, only Terraform project done for previous batch. Do you want to see that code? Pipeline code. Let me show you here. Are you seeing Terraform project? Just now done. I'll open the pipeline code. Now try to check, like, is it able to understand or not? Stages, getting the source code. Instead of MVN compile, use Terraform init. Instead of MVN build, like MVN test, you are using Terraform validate. Instead of using MVN clean package, you are using Terraform comments. We are replacing Maven comments with Terraform comment. But apart from comments, is the syntax going to change anywhere? If you write pipeline for Jenkins, you can write pipeline for anything. For Docker, you can write. For Kubernetes, you can write. For Terraform, for Ansible, whatever you want to write, this is the syntax. If you understand the syntax, writing pipeline is easy. Now you don't know about Terraform, but you can be able to understand what is happening is a Terraform or not, sir, with the help of pipeline script. For Docker also, again, same thing. If you learn pipelines end to end now, whatever pipelines I said, you can write pipeline for any tool. That's the assurance I can give for you. Clear no? So now coming to the doubts or queries. Before going for doubts or queries, is the project clear for all of you what we have done? Yes or no? Then something I ask means you need to tell yes or no, right? If you shake your head like this and like this, how can I able to understand? All right, what about you? Is the concept clear for all of you? Okay. So now the main thing comes into the action. Sir, project, everyone will tell, sir. Even not me. If you go to YouTube as well, they are going to tell the project. But why you are here? For troubleshooting. If I tell the project, if I tell the troubleshooting, if you go for real-time work, are you able to do troubleshooting on your own? So now write troubleshooting techniques. Sir, basically troubleshooting is classified into 3 types. How many types? First one is server level troubleshooting. Which one? Second one is job level troubleshooting. Third one is for server level troubleshooting, job level troubleshooting, we are responsible, sir. But for code level troubleshooting, are we going to be responsible? So I'm going to teach you this both. First of all, server level troubleshooting. In server level troubleshooting, for example, if your build got failed, they are going to ask in real time. If your build got failed, what you are going to do? First thing you are going to check is console output. Console. So if you see here, practically I'm going to show you. Nothing I'll tell theoretically, practically. For example, sir, this build got failed. How I troubleshoot here? If I go inside it, it is going to clearly tell me there is one error. In the parameter context, basically we need to give context path. But what I have given here, that means it is troubleshooting or not, sir? So whenever you get any kind of mistakes, first of all, we need to go to consoles. Is the point number 1 clear? Second type of errors are like this. Second type of errors are like, for example, Jenkins, Maven and Java versions. Maven and Java. Sir, Maven required which version of Java, sir? Correct or not? Let's go for our slave server. It is our slave server. Na? In my slave server, MVN -- version. Which version of Java is there? I'm remove Maven and I'm removing Java as well. Java 1.8.0. Java -1.8.0. I am removing both Maven and Java, sir. Why? Because to show the troubleshooting. I'm installing Java 11, Amazon Linux Extras install java hyphen openjdk 11 hyphen y. Now which version of Java is there? 11. And now I'll install Maven version now. Why? Because troubleshooting you need to understand lively. If you can't understand troubleshooting lively, you cannot do it on real time. So now install Maven. I am not installing Java 1.8.0. So now is Java installing or not, sir? Which version of Java is installing? That means dependent for Maven is now Java 17. But Maven required which version to build? Check it now. So give mvn hyphen version. What version of Maven is it now? 17. Go to Jenkins. Here I'll tell you one thing. Click on build now. What is happening, sir? Build is happening. Correct or not? You are performing build on which server? Slave 1. So basically what happened is for Maven, apart from 1.8.0, like 17 is also going to be supporting version. If you want to know more about this one, I'll tell you one thing. Maven Java versions. In official documentation, they are going to provide which version of Java is going to support for which version of Maven. Okay, so we can support 1.8.0 and we can support Java 17 as well. But instead of Java 17, if I put 11, what is going to happen, sir? Build fair. It will support, but is it performing the operation? Go to the logs here. In logs, what it is telling? Failure to execute. Why? Because compiler failed. If you see here, it is clearly telling that, one second. Source option 5 is no longer supported, use 7 or later. That means if you get this kind of error, that is completely Maven error. Which error? Maven required which version of Java? But currently it is which version of 17 is also going to support, but not now in older versions. So we need to use 1.8.0. So these kind of mistakes are also going to happen or not, sir? Have you seen this mistake lively? Server level issues. So we are going to get console output when the build failures and Maven and Java version. Third version, like third kind of mistakes are dependency mistakes. What it is? For example, sir, I am removing the git star here. Remove git star hyphen y. If I remove the git here, am I able to perform this task, sir? Dependency is missing or not? Let's check this lively as well. Click on build now. Now first stage is also not going to perform. What happened? Why? Because simply again go for console output and check what it is telling. Here recommended tool git is not there. It is telling that here error performing in git command. Error performing in git command means correct or not? So these are the commonly faced troubleshooting techniques in real time. Clear now? First of all, console we need to check. Second one, Maven and Java version. Third one, dependency checks. Clear, sir? Sometimes we need to check the CPU and memory consumption. What we need to check? CPU and memory consumption. Why? Because if your CPU and memory is running out of stage, Jenkins is not going to work properly. So we need to enhance the CPU and memory consumption. That means, for example, if you are using T2 medium, you can change it to T2 large as well. Okay? Like you are going to increase the CPU and memory capacity. Is it clear, sir? Server level troubleshooting. Next one, I'm going to tell you about job level troubleshooting. Which one? Sir, in job level also, we are going to do some mistakes, sir. For example, in job, sir, my source code is running on which branch? Master branch, correct or not, sir? But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to change it to main branch. Now, like here, I'm going to change it. Of course, you can change here or you can change there. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to change the name of the branch. How to change it? Go to all branches. You know this font, right? Click on this symbol. Main. My source code is on which branch, sir, now? Is it done now? Now if you go and if you try to click on build now, is it going to accept? Why it is not going to accept? Of course, even though if you have git now, yum install git -y, even though if you have git now, it is not going to accept. Do you have the git now? If I click on build now, again it got failed. Why it got failed? The recommend tool git is none, no credentials specified, cloning the repository. So if you want to get the full information, go to here, you can see it now. It is telling that couldn't find any version of the build, verify the repository and branch configuration. We done something on branch configuration wrong or not, sir? Their source code is on main branch, but here it is on. So job level mistake number 1. Job and, sorry, job not. Repo and branch config mistakes are going to happen. So in interview, they are going to ask troubleshooting techniques. So you need to follow all of them. Basically, it's not my cup of tea. I don't want to, like, there is no scope for teaching this. But why I'm teaching this means it is how your questions going to be when you go for experience level. Second kind of mistakes, syntax mistakes. Which mistakes? Already we've seen. Instead of context, I put context path. I missed that one. Syntax errors happened or not, sir? That's it. And third level of mistakes are plugins. Which one? For some jobs, we need to require some plugins. For example, for this job to deployment, we need plugin or not, sir? But have I installed plugin initially? Deployment got failed. If you don't install plugin, it is not going to accept. So these are the possible level of troubleshooting techniques for your job. So again, troubleshooting techniques are classified into first one is, second one, third one. Have you seen every troubleshooting practically or not, sir? So of course, once you go for interview, right, just read these troubleshooting techniques once. No need to explain them, but have this on your mind always. Clear? So one more tip I'll tell you. Basically, it is not included, but I'll tell you. For example, you want to change the Tomcat port number. How can you change it? Which file? How to do it? Huh? So basically, there is server.xml. If you go to VAM, inside root, you have Apache folder, right? Inside Apache folder, you are going to have something called as configuration. Go to server.xml. So here I need to go to line number 69, sir. Which line? Are you seeing port number 8080? Change it to port number 8090. Okay, it is the file name of the file. You need to install SSL certificate for it. If we have money, we can do it. Okay, fine. It will replicate automatically. We need to change HTTPS and we need to install certificate, then only it is going to replicate. Sir, after changing some properties on any configuration, we need to restart or not, sir? Script, again script is on inside root folder, Apache Tomcat, inside bin. First of all, shut down. We need to shut down this and then again start it. Is it done now? So now if we go and change, copy the public IP address of your slave 1 server. Which server? Instead of giving 8080, now I am giving 80. Is my application opening on 8090 port number? Correct or not, sir? And again, if you want to change password also, you can change password. You know the command. VM, inside root, inside Apache, Tomcat, inside configuration, there is file called Tomcat user.xml. So change the password here. So Raham123, I'm going to replace with Raham456. Or just give Tomcat only. Have a change password, sir? Whenever you change, you need to again shut down and then you need to again restart Tomcat server. None or not, sir? Now if you go and see, you can get the new username and password. Username is same password. I'm copying it here. Opening or not, sir? So this is the way how we are going to do the server level administrative task. So basically this is the level of admin task. Basically you won't do it as a fresher, but it is better to learn all of this. Completely knowledge is free for all of you, right? That's it. So now any questions or any queries from your end? You can use that command chk config. But it is not recommended for Tomcat servers. We are going to frequently stop the servers. It is not recommended. I won't say it is recommended. Why? Because Tomcat, whenever you want to change the configuration, right? So it is better to do always. And one more thing. In real time, you are never going to stop the servers. That's for damn sure. Once you create a server, right? You are never going to stop down. So this is enough for today's session. Does the deploy stage change for WebLogic? Definitely. If you use WebLogic, so you are going to write some separate syntax for it, Satya. Is there any way we can get some help in case of servers are changing for deployment? So definitely, like you will get it. So like today, you explain how to deploy. Same we have to do on other tools as well. Definitely. And for example, deployment is on pipeline for Jenkins. Same deployment you are going to do with the help of playbooks in Ansible. Okay. Like that, tool to tool deployment is going to change. I'm going to tell all of them for you. So it is the class for today. So now any doubts or any queries from your end, guys, before I wrap the session? First of all, going for doubts and queries. Have you got some real-time exposure now? Concept clear for all of you? So go to the lab and practice all of this now. I'm going to give these notes. GitHub Raham Sheikh. Okay, now online. Any doubts?